So yeah, those would be my other main thoughts about Blue White. Then something interesting caught my attention today, and it's kind of caught a lot of Penn Staters' attention. You have not seen it yet because we're recording on Sunday for those listening, and it came out on Sunday. Apparently, James Franklin got into it with another fan. I guess the fan maybe called him a fraud, and there was some sort of issue, and then they kind of Franklin goes over and says, "Come over here and say it to my face." With a little bit of yelling, and it just okay. Let me say these thoughts. I do understand why James Franklin is annoyed in April 26th, 2025. He has retained pretty much the core of his roster into next season. He just took the team to the national semifinals and is the quarterback making one boneheaded decision away from probably advancing to the first national championship for Penn State in the college football playoff era. Actually, just pretty much ever in the college football championship era for college football. He's done a lot that he collectively with the program has done a lot with NIL, all these other little factors. Just had 2 NFL draft picks. So he's got a leg to stand up on. And I appreciate him going to bat for his team because that's what I want from a leader. Where I am annoyed as a fan, I am annoyed with the fan that is calling him a fraud because I don't think that's fair to him, particularly right now or really ever. But where I am annoyed with him is this is now maybe the 3rd or 4th time that he has done this, and it's just not a great look that I don't understand why he feels the necessary to go and approach fans that way. Just let it go. Like this is a part of being an athlete, and maybe if it was derogatory or nasty or over the top, sure, but like it kind of just seemed like this guy was a little drunk and was like, Franklin, you're a fraud. And not necessarily like defending that fan, but it's just like that's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen 150 times a season. Like it happens 150 times in my section for Christ's sake. Like it's just gonna happen, and you're kind of have to deal with that as the leader. And I thought we turned a stone on this, and we didn't. And it's annoying, and I'm tired of it, and I don't want to see it anymore. I don't. That's how I feel about it.
I think that's all fair. I mean, sight unseen, sight unread.
Yeah.
I think you never punch down. When you're the main person, the big person, you just don't punch down. Yes. Okay, they're assaulting your character, calling you a name in public. Sorry, you just have to not hear it. Like that's part of the gig. And coaches, for the most part, do hear it though, right? Like, I mean, there's the Saban stuff years ago at a news conference with the guy and whatever else. There's always 1 or 2 a year from national coaches, whatever, when they'll question it, they'll respond back, they'll take the bait. You just unfortunately have to be bigger. Like it's just not worth waste. They are not the coach of the program. And I think, and you are the other, so you are already in a better position than they are. And I think the other thing is coaches are so used, the buck stops with them. They are used to not being questioned. They are used to having the final word. They are used to saying the last words in a meeting and nobody else saying anything back. Fans don't have to follow those rules, right, in terms of interaction. So when they don't, it probably ticks them off. And I get that. Like, I understand that. Nobody wants to be called a name, but you just, especially in those kinds of instances, you just have to not hear. I just ignore the noise.
It would have been one thing. What really bothered me is it would have been one thing if it is after a loss, and I can understand why everybody in that situation is upset. I can not excusing what that guy said, but I can understand that guy was probably drunk, and it's the blue-white game, and it's just it's unnecessary for that guy to say something, but it's unnecessary for Franklin to make something out of it because everybody's watching you. There are cameras everywhere in this day and age. Like, he could have let that go. How many other times at blue-white games has that happened? And why did he choose now to address it? And it's just, I don't like it. It's not,
a decade plus in though, right? I'm sure there's a part of him saying, look what we've done.
Right.
I come here, you had roster restrictions, you had whatever else. I got people aligned. We got within a quarterback's mistake of playing for the national championship, and I still got people bitching. This is crazy, right? Like, I'm sure there's a part of him that feels that, and perhaps rightly so. But I still think I lean more toward you in terms of saying you just can't hear it. Like, you have to ignore it.
Yeah. It's just it's a frustrating look because now it becomes something, and yes, we're adding to it by talking about it, but I don't know.
What I could do, and I have an abundance of orange hats, maybe if he wore a hat, it would cover up his ears and he wouldn't hear some of that stuff. No. Okay. Never shot. We could put a little stuff. Do we have a logo? No.
Do we have a logo, Steve? We have a logo.
We do. I'm just saying we could put it on there because it's going to be on the cards that we're going to give Jason for his store. Yeah.
So are they going to be orange? Is yours going to be orange? Are we going to cut up your thing and sell patches of
How
that?
about that? We could sell pieces of the hat.
There you go. Oh,
Look at us, entrepreneurial.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, down a rabbit hole. My bad.
No, I don't know. And that's all I'll say about that. It's just a weird look. And I just
Do you think, let me ask this, do you think you were alone in that frustration about the response? Or do you think people are like, because if somebody would have said it about Pat Kraft and Pat Kraft would have responded, I'm sure the fan base would be like, yeah, Pat, you go get him. You're building us a stadium. You're a champion for our teams. You're whatever else. So why does Pat Kraft get that pass and the football coach
Pat
doesn't?
Kraft would not get that pass from me. Pat Kraft would no. It's just a weird thing to get into it with fans. It is. Okay. Like as the leader of the program, whether you're an AD, whether you're a head coach, even when players get into it with fans, like it's a weird thing. And there's a line, and yes, people can cross it. And I think that when that unfortunately happens, then it's different. But I don't understand in that situation of a blue-white game why you have to go address that. Just let it go. Like that guy would shut up probably in about a minute if you ignored it, you know? Why pick it then and there? And I think if Pat Kraft were to do that, like I think I don't know. I think like when the Ohio State game, I think it was the Ohio State game was when it happened the last time around, at home, and he kind of got into it. Like, I think if that would have happened with Pat Kraft, like, it would have been just the same look, and it would have been disappointing, on all parties again. And it's just a frustrating look, and I don't know, it's missing leadership is how I feel about it. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I don't disagree.
What's that?
I don't disagree.
Yeah.